Hello, Dr. Stephanie Gray with the Integrative Health and Hormone Clinic and Your Longevity Blueprint. Now today I want to start a 5-part video series, yes I said 5-part, on stress and the adrenals. There's just too much information to cram into 1 or 2 videos. So I want to talk about stress. Each of us is always going to be exposed to stress, but we get to choose how we're going to manage that stress. So within these blogs, I hope to leave you with some strategies that you can implement immediately. So you get to choose if you're going to focus all your energy on the past or the future, or take control with the present. So stress is a physical response. We need it to alert our bodies. It's normal for our bodies to behave this way in acute situations. When stressed, our body thinks it's under attack and switches to the fight or flight mode. And this is where your adrenals release that complex mix of hormones and chemicals like adrenaline, cortisol, norepinephrine, and epinephrine to prepare your body for physical action. So what's happening here? You're scared, right? You're scared you may be going to get into a car accident, fearful of death maybe. This causes a number of reactions from blood being diverted to your muscles to shutting down unnecessary body functions like digestion. The fast heart pounding and that fast breathing sensation is really a result of adrenaline, and you get that boost of energy to help you focus your attention so you can quickly respond to the situation. Now in the modern world, this fight or flight mode can help us survive dangerous situations. Maybe we need to react swiftly when driving if an animal jumps out in front of our car and we need to slam on the brakes, right? But unknown by many, there's even a third mode of stress that can cause a freezing sensation. So here the energy mobilized by the perceived threat gets locked in our nervous system and we freeze or pause. And this response sometimes reveals itself with our breathing. Holding our breath and shallow breathing are both forms of the freeze sensation. And the occasional deep sigh is the nervous system catching up on its oxygen intake as well. So how many of you have found yourself sighing, like, maybe in the middle of the afternoon? I know I have, at work. So when you think of your nervous system, you have the sympathetic nervous system, which helps with fight or flight and is needed. And think of this as more like the gas pedal. And then you have the parasympathetic nervous system, which we need for resting, digesting, relaxing, growing, and developing. Think of this as more the brake pedal. And ideally, these two sides wouldn't be lopsided, right? Heavily swayed towards the side of stress, they'd be more in balance. Now, there are different types of stressors like slamming on your brakes I alluded to, or getting a shot, and those are stressors for a few minutes and then they're gone. So these types of stressors, believe it or not, don't impact our health as much as chronic stress does. So we are designed to be able to handle these acute, short-term stressors. But that's not the case with chronic stressors. So what if you have a toxic relationship with a family member who isn't going away? Or a long-term stress example of myself is when I went to grad school for years full-time, was starting a business, it was just too much for too long, and my nervous system said, enough, we're done, you're too stressed out. Now you can read more about my story in my book, Your Longevity Blueprint, but I won't digress too far today. What about those living with chronic pain? That's a huge daily stress on the body. And here's also where trauma comes in, and I don't just mean physical, past physical abuse. Trauma could just be a major life-altering situation you had. Maybe it was a move, a job change, whatnot. These are all examples of chronic stressors that can impact our health. And I also believe chronic stimulation with our overuse of technology and having cell phones, computers, and TVs all around us, all that electromagnetic stress and chaos falls into the bucket of chronic stress. So chronic stress is really just repeated exposure to the same stressor over and over and over. So this can increase our stress levels when we realize that our stressors aren't going away and we need to face them. We can't fight or flight, we can't freeze. We have to learn to manage our stress response and our circumstances, and that's what these future video blogs are about. But why is stress bad anyways? Why does stress impact our health? Well, it impacts our ability to fight infections. It can weaken the immune system, right? Eventually resulting in things like cancers, can rob our body of hormones, can increase the cortisol, which I mentioned, and initially with stress, having that high cortisol can lead to high glucose, which can lead to insulin resistance, eventually diabetes, weight gain, and cardiovascular disease as well. It can cause anxiety and insomnia, and these are all things we don't want, right? So how do you know if you have stress? Well, we're going to get into that with part 2 of this blog series. But learn more about stress's impact on your hormones and how you can improve your body's internal production of hormones in chapter 6 of my book, Your Longevity Blueprint. And please tune in for parts 2, 3, 4, and 5 to learn more. Thank you for watching this video. Please share with friends and family. I'd love feedback on the videos and the blogs. You can leave a comment below if you're interested. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and remember that wellness is waiting.